Welcome back to Chokitable Media. How are you doing at this time? I want us to discuss insurance reform, which has just been passed into law by Bola Tinubu. This discussion has been going on for the past couple of days, and I would like you, as my subscribers, to settle down and listen to how this reform concerns you. And I want you to imbibe it because there's what they say in law. They say there's nothing like ignorance in law. So if you don't settle down to learn about what they are doing, if you choose to be carried away with criticisms and all the rest that is going on in Nigeria, you might not have the chance to see some law being passed that are actually against you, which the people in power, the people in government believe that this law will actually help to raise money for the government uh, to be able to survive. But there are certain laws that are being enacted these days from the present administrations that you need to take a very good note of. One of them is the tax reform. Actually, we're not discussing that here today. The tax reform, the personal income tax, and the company income tax law that has just been enacted. So, but this one is the insurance law which has just been passed. So, how does it concern you? And what actually is that this insurance reform law that has just been passed? The insurance reforms law, actually, according to my research, says uh, Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act, NIIRA 2025, and that's what they call it. So, what is it all about? So, the key points to note in this new law that has just been passed is, the government, the federal government actually wants to make insurance compulsory for everybody. So, they are expanding the scope of insurance in Nigeria. So they say the law expands the scope of compulsory insurance to a specific sector, including agriculture, small and medium scale enterprises, SMEs, and public infrastructure and cyber liabilities. Then what you need to note that concerns us there is that there are penalties for non-compliance of this law. Main aim of bringing this one to you is the part whereby they said landlord risk 1 million naira fine. Landlords risk 1 million naira fine, jail for uninsured buildings. So if you have a house in Nigeria and you fail to insure the house, you run the risk of being jailed, and you run the risk of paying 1 million naira if you fail to do this. Though when I kept doing my research to see the authenticity of this, I found out that the Punch newspaper in one of their pages on the 18th of August 2025 actually wrote something on this to explain further. So now let me just read a bit of what the Punch newspaper said about this, so that we understand and try to know how to guide ourselves from being punished by this new law that has just been enacted. And Punch wrote, said landlord and occupier of buildings or public buildings across the country will be fined 1 million naira, jailed for 12 months or both if they fail to insure their properties against hazards, according to the newly signed Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act. So that is what Punch is saying. According to the copy of the new law cited by Punch newspaper, all public buildings must be insured against risk such as collapse, fire, earthquake, storm, flood, and such other hazard as the National Insurance Commission may determine. So, Section 76, subsection 6, define public buildings as including a tenant house. I want you to take note here: a tenant house of more than one floor, a hostel, a building occupied by a tenant, lodger, or licensee, and any building to which a member of public have access for obtaining education or medical service or for recreation or transaction of business. In addition to protecting lives and property, insurance policy are required to cover the legal liabilities of landlords and occupiers for bodily injury, death, or damage suffered by the user of these premises and their third parties. So this is what I want you to know. So if you say it doesn't concern you or what is going on in Nigeria is none of your business, it is only if you don't have anything over there, if you have structures over there, if you have properties over there, if you have businesses over there, you got to pay taxes, you got to take care of yourself, take care of your business. Otherwise, your situation will be like the situation of Nigeria itself. So if you're a landlord that is, into commercial renting, just be careful because this has been enacted. So the modalities on how it will go is not actually clear to me, but you category of people that these things concern. If you fail to do it, and that is exactly what they say is going to happen. So if you have a hostel, if you have houses whereby you have tenants and lodgers and accommodation that you say you have, if you don't do something about it, like the way they say it now, then you might run foul of the law. So you need to be careful because it has become a law now. So everybody is tasting out of this. So a part of the new law stipulate that also every direct insurer on policy issue under subsection 1 shall pay 0.25% of the net premium received quarterly into a fire service maintenance fund, which shall be established, administered, and disbursed by the Commission to provide grants or equipment to institution engaged in firefighting services, which is actually a very good thing. If that is, a kind of way to raise money for this type of project, for this type of infrastructure to help the government and help the people so that we can help ourselves. So money collected by the insurance company as in premium. So 0.25% of which will be, submitted, transferred to the government purse. And this money, when transferred to the government purse, will be used to, support the fire services in the country. And that is the way they put it. So, and it goes further. It say an insurer who defaults in making payment as required under subsection 3 is liable to a penalty of not more than 10 times the amounts payable. So you have to pay it if you're an insurance company and you collect money premium from people. People like landlords, builders, people that have businesses that you collected money from, people that rented houses to people. Then you have to pay. When they pay you, you need to pay as well to the purse of the federal government. So the part of the federal government will have to go to them. So that's what I'm trying to say in essence. So let's go further. For non-compliance with this provision shall be a ground for cancellation of an insurance registration. So they will take the business away from you if you don't do the due diligence by paying what concerns the government back to the government. An owner or occupier of a premises who contravenes the provision of a section commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of at least 1 million naira or imprisonment for a time not exceeding 12 months or both. So that's what the law says. For the insured and the insurers as well, both of them are liable. So definitely care must be taken. So don't say you don't know. The law also empowers NICOM to demand that the appropriate authorities seal up any building that possesses a serious risk to the public if no valid insurance cover is in place. These are very good things to put in the law so that people will not claim that they don't know. Still under compulsory insurance is provided by the new act, section 77 stated that all assets of employees of the federal government and its agencies shall be insured against the hazard and peril of such nature as the commission may determine. So everybody will have to, take care of themselves, insure their properties, including federal government buildings and parastatals as well. So subsection 78 stipulate that all petroleum and gas refilling station and installation be insured against the third party losses occasioned by accidental fire outbreak or explosion. Also, all vehicle transporting petroleum and gas products shall be insured against the third party losses occasioned by accidental fire outbreaks or explosion. So the responsibility, all these tankers and all these tippers, that you use on the road, all the filling stations, all of them must rise up and pay their insurance premium. They must register, they must pay insurance premium. So against all these losses that we're talking about. And that is exactly what I want you to know. These are just some silent news that actually people don't discuss, and which I really want you to know that it is going on. The responsibility of the cover is on the owner of the petroleum and gas products in transit, or the owner of or operator of the relevant refilling station. The law states that a copy of a certificate of insurance that meets the minimum requirement should be displayed in a conspicuous location at the refilling station or included in all the documents covering the petroleum and gas products in transit. So there must be an evidence that you have done your insurance. So you must take it all around or paste it on your windscreen or in your filling station so that the government, when they are checking, they will know that you've obeyed the law. Also, a person who fails to comply with the subsection is liable on conviction to a fine of at least 1 million naira or minimum time of 2 years imprisonment for or both. Section 79, subsection 1 duet on how claims are settled, stating where a house or any other building insured against loss by fire is damaged or destroyed by fire, and there is no reasonable ground to suspect that the owner, occupier, or any of the other person who insured the house or other building is guilty of fraud in respect of insurance or willfully causing the fire, the insurer who is liable to make a good the loss may, on the request of the person entitled or interested in the insured house or building, cost cost the insurance money payable to be paid out and expended on set out in subsection 2. So definitely, you know what I mean. So you have to make sure that you pay. The insurance will have to make sure that they pay those people in case they didn't find any fraud in any disaster that might have happened to them despite being insured. So if there's nothing like fraud in there, then the insurance company will just need to pay. The insurance money payable under subsection 1 shall be paid out and expended towards the rebuilding, restating, or repairing the house or all the buildings so burnt down, damaged, or destroyed by fire, unless A, the party or parties claiming such insurance money within 60 days after the claim is agreed, give security to the satisfaction of the insurer that the insurance money will be paid out and expended as stated, or B, the insurance money is at the time settled and disposed of among all the parties entitled, as the insurer may determine with the approval of the court on the application of the insurer or any of the interested parties. So, subsection 3, notwithstanding the provision of subsection 1, the insured shall have the right to decide whether to reinstate the house or building damaged or destroyed by fire, or to pay the insured for the loss suffered, but not exceeding the insured sum. So there are a lot of details that you need to go and find out yourself to be able to know how it affects you. So, and that is what you're listening to me reading to you right here, that it is compulsory that the insurance company must pay you in case of any damage or this fire outbreak or some or disaster that might happen to your house. They must not fail to pay. They must not fail to pay, because like what we see on ground, I don't think the insurance company in Nigeria are actually really paying back in terms of damage done to those people they insured. So it is compulsory, and failure to do that, it's going to cost them trouble with the law. They run foul of the law as well. A lot of things to know in this type of thing. But I see it as a good law being passed. But the fact here is that where is the money in Nigeria to be able to insure yourself or insure your properties? Is it in a case whereby the tenant don't even pay correctly or the right money they're supposed to pay, or where the liability is 100% on on the landlord. So how is it going to be? And this effect of this type of law is that all this money that you're going to pay or use for your premium to pay the insurance company is actually going to come from the tenant as well. So the cost will just go down to the tenant. So the landlord will actually want to, push away the cost from his own angle down to the tenant, and that is the way it's going to be. So meaning that people will suffer more. So in an actual sense, I think the government should be able to cushion the effect of poverty in Nigeria and put money back into the pocket of the people. So if people have enough disposable income, it will be very easy for them to, do all these things that you were talking about. Pay your insurance bill, pay your rent, and pay your taxes and all the rest. But if people don't have money and the liability of you have to pay this, you have to pay that, suffering will keep going on. The fact here is that I am just trying to intimate you that it is now being passed and it has been signed into law that if you fail to insure your buildings, then you are liable under the law and you might be fined 1 million naira or both for not complying with the law. So let us be aware. This is Chokitable Media. Please, if you understand what I'm saying and you want to pass a comment, please go to the comment section down here and put your comment down there and let us discuss. If you think this law is okay and you think people are going to be able to pay their insurance or insure their houses the way they put it, or insure their businesses as they put it, like the filling station and all the rest. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye for now.
Here are the summary of what I've just analyzed to you now so that you can run home with it. I have 5 points here that you have to note. Number 1, every building must be insured against all risk like collapse, fire, outbreak, earthquake, storm, or flood. That is 1. Number 2 things to note is to note what a building is. So the question is asked, what is a building? So a building is every dwellings, all houses, commercial buildings, hotel, hostel, school, offices, factory, manufacturing offices, manufacturing companies, store, or anywhere where tenants lives. So definitely that is the definition of a building. So if you fall into this category, definitely this law is for you. Number 3, this insurance is to protect, to cover all legal liabilities of landlords and occupiers of any building, or in case of damage suffered by occupants of any building or others, maybe they are visitors and all the rest that came visiting. So this insurance is to protect them. Then it is compulsory also to pay 0.25 out of the money by the insurance company to a fund that will be commissioned. They call it a fire service maintenance fund. So this money must go from the insurance company, must go into this account. This money will be used after collected together. It will be used to fund the fire department in the country, to buy them equipment, to buy them their wares and all this stuff. So that is why this 0.25 is compulsory to be dropped or to be paid by the insurance companies. Insurance companies also liable if they fail to remit that money due to the federal government to help the fire service department. So their certificate may be revoked if they don't, comply with this law. They could be jailed or fined, as the case may be. NICOM has power to seal any dangerous structures likely to cause death, havoc, or dangers to the people. And NICOM is there to take care of all this. So, number 5, all government buildings, the one that belongs to the state, to the federal, or to the local government, are not exempted from this law. All of them also must insure their buildings. They must be insured, otherwise they will be punished as well. Number 6, businesses like petrol and gas stations, they must be insured. It is very, very compulsory. So their vehicle, their offices, and their filling stations, wherever it may be, they are not exempted. They must get a certificate to show that they've done that. So number 7, damages must be paid promptly by insurance company anytime people come for their claims. So their claims must also be paid promptly.
Thank you for watching. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing so you won't miss out any of our latest video.